Hi guys, welcome back to my house, Felix. On this first episode, I'm gonna show you how to make the best ever roast pork belly. You gotta have a great crackling and you gotta have the juiciest pork meat underneath the crackling, which is the fat. It's rendered down perfectly. And I promise you, it will satisfy your palate. And then the ingredient is very simple. It just needs take time to make it good and perfect. So let's find out what the ingredient is. So this is all the ingredient for the pork belly, for the roast pork belly, which is we have 2 tablespoons of salt. You have Chinese spice, roughly around 1 teaspoon of that one. We have garlic, we have ginger, and we have the spring onion as well. Also, we have pork belly, which is roughly around half a kilo. And we have a good amount of fat in there, and of course this is free range. And this fat is very important because this is very good amount, because once it's rendering down, this will make a perfect juiciest pork ever. So this is what we're gonna make. We're gonna make the poaching liquid first for the pork belly. So what we have in here, roughly around 2 liters of water, boiling water. So what we're gonna do is all in here, just bring it up to the boil again one more time, and then make sure everything infused together, because this is very important. Once it's boiling, we're gonna put the pork belly in there, and we're gonna leave the pork belly cooking at least for minimum 1 hour at least in there, to absorb all the flavor in there, to make sure all the pork belly is really fragrant when it comes to roasting it. Now the liquid already been boiling in here. So everything already be infused nicely. So right now, we're gonna put the pork belly skin side down first. Now, bring this one back to the boil. And once it's boiled, we're gonna cover it down and turn off the heat and let this one cook it gently for 1 hour. So the pork belly already bring it up to the boil again one more time. See, it's very boiling rapidly. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna put the lid on it, and we're gonna turn off the heat right away and let it poach it gently for 1 hour. So everything will be infused together. It will be nice and fragrant after 1 hour. Promise you. So guys, 1 hour already gone past very quickly. So I'm gonna bring the pork out now. So at this moment, the pork, it's already cooked, but it's not really completely tender to bite it. It's just like a part cooking already. And the flavor, the smells is really good already. You guys smell of the ginger and spice and the salt already penetrating inside the meat, so it's much more flavorful coming out. So the next step is to make it a stud, which is, you can use this, it's a fork, everyone at home basically, or using this, it's a meat tenderizer. You can buy anything anywhere in the Asian supermarket. So what we do is simply, you just keep studying it in here. What you do is to make a hole in the skin so the steam can escape from the meat and make it more drier. And also, the reason why I'm doing that, because by the time you're roasting it, the roast perfectly everywhere. You done studying it already. So what we're doing right now is make sure this one dry. To do that, we gotta put this one in the fridge minimum 6 hours, or the best one is 24 hours. I'm gonna put this one in the fridge for 24 hours, so make sure it's completely dry, and the next day will be perfect for the roasting. We're just gonna keep it very simple. We're just gonna season with the salt. So we're just gonna season the salt, just starting with the underneath first, all the way around the meat. Now we done season it. So we gotta use a tin foil, and we're gonna put the pork belly in here. What we're gonna do with the tin foil is that we're gonna try to create a small parcel, but we just only gonna cover up the whole meat. We don't need to cover up the skin, because the skin need to get crispy in the oven. The reason why we do this one as well, first, we try to protect the outside, the meat, prevents going dry too much, because sometimes when you just put in the oven straight up without putting the foil in here, the outside it tends to really get dry out very quickly, and sometimes when you eat it, it just feels like when you're eating a jerky. We try to keep it moist as possible in this stage. The second thing is that all the fat that run down, we will collect it on this foil. Once the oil in there, we can keep it the oil. We can use it for a stir fry, or maybe you can put a soup. You can use a lot of things with the fat from the pork. So we're gonna get ready with the roasting right now. So nice empty tray, pork belly in here. What we're gonna do now is, now we're gonna season the skin with the salt as well, but before we do that, we're gonna put a layer of vinegar and oil a little bit as well. Pork belly is already got a lot of fat, but the layer of the small layer of the oil on the top, it just trying to help the skin pop up once it's going to the hot oven. So we're gonna brush it first with a layer of vinegar. And after that, we just put layer of the oil on top. Once that one done, we're just gonna season it, the skin on top, just with the salt. We don't need to use anything else, just salt. Just keep it simple for cooking at home. We don't need to do a lot of things. Alright, now the pork belly is ready, everything is seasoned already. Now let's check out the oven. I got the oven in here already setting up, preheating at the highest temperature on my oven setting, which is I'm setting up on around 250 right now. So the reason why, because we're gonna put the oven the first 30 minutes, because we're gonna try to make a skin crispy first on the top. Once the skin crispy, then we can turn down the temperature of the oven to lower setting, 175 to 180. Then we're gonna cook it slowly for another maybe 1.5 hour to 2 hours. So I got my oven, it's preheat already on 250 degree. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna pop this on the oven, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep monitoring on this one, because the oven is setting us really hot right now. So there's a chance maybe you're gonna starting to burn the skins too quickly. So we recommend every 10 minutes, just keep an eye on that one. Just make sure it's nice and golden brown on the top without getting burns on the top. Alright guys, now 10 minutes already. Now I'll show you what's gonna happen with the pork right now. Alright guys, now this is after 10 minutes. As you can see the skin start cracking up. That's what happens when you put the vinegar and then oil, you create a little bit of reaction on the top crackling. It looks very crispy right now. What you want it to do is just make sure for the next 20 minutes is that make sure this is not going to burn. You want this one, it's golden brown and crispy for the next 20 minutes, okay? So, alright guys, now I did say already 30 minutes for in the oven on a high heat to get the skin crispy, but right now I can see right now that my pork belly, the skin, it looks perfect to me. It's roughly around 23 minutes when I see the timer. So what I'm doing right now, just leave the door open for 1 minute first, let the hot air coming out. And I already lowered the oven to around 170 right now. And at this stage right now, the skin's already perfectly crisp on the top. What you want to do right now is bake the pork belly roughly around 1.5 hours to 2 hours. Right, now while we're waiting for the pork belly finishing the oven, so we talk about sauce right now. Now I choose this sauce because it's something that I'm in love with it when I first time arrived in Bali, which is called Sambal Matah. Sambal Matah in English means raw sambal, or you can think about it close to like making a salsa, but we're using a lot of the shallot, garlic, big red chili, and we have this. This is a bird eye chili, this is very optional because this big red chili, it's only like, most likely it's not gonna be very spicy as this one. So this is just optional. If you don't want to use this one, just get rid of it. Just use this chili. And lemongrass, lime, a little bit sugar. I'm using a little bit of the chicken powder, and we're gonna use coconut oil as well. So, shallot. Okay guys, now the pork belly is already in the oven 1.5 hours. So I can show you that you will not regret the method what we do in here. It looks good. I can show you very closely. See? Crispy topping on the top. And the fat already started running down a lot, which is a good sign. Sounds very good. I'm very excited about this one. So, next thing is just grab a plate. Just open up the tin foil carefully because there's a lot of fat in here as well. You want to keep the fat for something else, okay? Now, after you cook it, the mistake a lot of people do is that, oh, the pork belly looks good right now, so I really want to eat while it's hot. No, do not ever try to do that one. Do not try to cut through the pork belly straight up or any kind of meat. So once you cook it from the oven, you gotta have to let it rest a little bit so the juice can come back to the meat and make it much more tender and much more juicier. So this one I cook it 1.5 hours, so at least you give it a good 10 to 15 minutes have rest without foil. Very nice. Okay, now the pork belly has a good rest right now. Let's flatten up. So I'm just gonna keep it very simple. Just put the Sambal Matah on the bottom. Now, the pork belly have a good rest right now. So the way you're gonna slice it, I'm gonna slice it like this, across the joint. Just get the upper part first. Nice. And let's have a taste first. I mean, that's just the meat part. It's not really dry as you want, but oh my god. It's just melting in your mouth. Oh, that's beautiful. See how juicy the meat is, because we will leave it resting. I'm so excited. Let's give it one more. Just cut it a little bit thicker. So just lay it like this on the plate. Let's keep it simple. The pork belly, it's really moist, and the juice is still staying there. So there you have it. So this is my version of the roast pork belly with the Sambal Matah.
My life be like, yeah. My life be like, yeah. My life be like, yeah. My life be like times like these that make me say, oh, if you see me, please come my way. Even brain comes over and I stray.
I have to stop right now. That's all I want to have to know right now. Thank you very much for watching this video. This is my first episode. So if you do like it, please try to at home, and don't forget to subscribe my YouTube channel. Thank you very much.